Little Foam Ranger Sports. This episode is going to be a little different because there was some news that broke today regarding Kage Casey this afternoon that he elected to opt in and play in the Senior Bowl this year. Again, if you remember, he decided to sit out and opt out and, depending on your view of it, quit on the Boise State football team this season when he again elected to sit out or opt out of the bucked up LA Bowl hosted by Gronk when the football team was competing against Washington. So I thought that was interesting and noteworthy, you know, because I'm not going to say 100% certainty that we could have won had he not have opted out, decided to sit out and quit on the team for the game. But on the other hand, one of the key areas we struggled in the game was on the ground game. And again, he was one of the best left tackles, not only in the Group 5, but maybe nationally in NCAA football this year. And had he decided to play in the game against Washington in the LA Bowl, maybe it becomes more 50-50 and offense does better. And it results in a more competitive game. Instead of how it was with a lot of run game issues, some pass game issues, and ultimately getting blown out for the second bowl game since 2019. I mean, one of the themes of a standard that I forgot in the last football video did was that we have been known to compete well in and win in bowl games in bowl season. I mean, from 2006 to 2012, I believe we won every game. Like that was the 06 Fiesta Bowl. Well, played in bowl game, forget which one. Same with the 8. Well, we lost to 8 because that was the Poinsettia Bowl. Well, I think it was either 08 or... Yeah, 08 was the Poinsettia Bowl against TCU. We nearly lost that one, but then 09, we won the Fiesta Bowl against TCU. Then won again in 10, 11, 12. So in a 6 bowl game period, we only lost 1 and then won 5, including 2 Fiesta Bowls. Then 13 we lost. 14 we won the bowl game, which was the Fiesta Bowl against Arizona. Then 15, remember correctly, was the Poinsettia Bowl against NAU. We won that one. 16, if I remember correctly, was probably the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl against Baylor. That was a loss. And 17 was a bowl win against Oregon in the LA Bowl. 18 was a Serve Pearl First Responder Bowl, which was canceled in the game because of thunderstorms and they could not resume the game afterward. So that game was a no contest. One of the rare times that happened. Probably the first time that happened since during the 1940s and World War II. The 19 LA Bowl lost that one to Washington again, like 30 plus to like 7. That was the worst bowl loss and worst blowout for Boise State football in a bowl game of program history. And again, this year's was close as to that. The 2020, COVID, no bowl games at all, I think. 21, we as a program elect to not partake in the bowl season because I think we had a multitude of injuries and a rash of illnesses, COVID and non-COVID related, leading up to bowl season. And so the program decided to heal and recover instead of playing a bowl game. In 22, we won against North Texas, and I believe it was a Frisco Bowl. North Texas. 23 lost against UCLA in the LA Bowl. Then last year, we lost against Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl in the CFP quarterfinals. And this year, again, 38-10 blowout loss to Washington. So again, if Kage Casey were to play in the game, I'm not going to say with 100% certainty we would have won, but I'd say we definitely would have been more competitive and put ourselves in a position to potentially win, more like 50-50. Yeah, but since he decided to opt out and, depending on how you want to look at it, quit on the team in that bowl game, it is what that game happened the way it happened. But with him, if he would have played on the O-line in that game, maybe our stats would have been better, maybe offense worked better, and probably would have lost, but it still would have been much closer. I definitively believe would have been a much closer, more competitive game for us offensively than what it turned out to be. So again, I think it's a little interesting in that. I think this news is probably going to rub a lot of Bronco fans and even his teammates a little bit the wrong way, like dirt in the mouth, I would say. Because again, in the one of the biggest games of the year, bowl game, I mean, yes, 28 straight seasons of being a bowl game, but again, we are known for being competitive and winning the bowl games until more recently. He could have helped write that script a bit, but again, because he set out more for personal reasons, maybe put himself ahead of the team in that regard. Probably set Ron with a lot of the football team and Bronco Nation as a whole. I mean, as I mentioned in the recap and the post-game presser, Matt Lauder said that he was frustrated by Kage Casey's decision to quit on the team for the bowl game and sit out or opt out of the game instead of compete with his brothers on the gridiron one last time. But now he's decided to play in the Senior Bowl instead. So again, a game that he could have really helped the team out and put the team first, he decides to sit out or opt out, but in a bowl game where he personally will profit massively from, the Senior Bowl, he decides to play in. Granted, the Senior Bowl is a pretty big thing since you get to practice in front of and maybe with some NFL scouts and coaches and maybe some players as well. Not only in the game, but also in terms of workouts and practices, and you get real-time feedback from NFL scouts and coaches as well. Not only practices and walkthroughs, but also the game itself, the Senior Bowl game. So I think that's going to rub a lot of Broncos, not only fans, but also his teammates the wrong way. Again, decide to opt out and sit out of the bowl game where he could have helped the team achieve its goals better in that game, where the team would have benefited a lot from it. And yeah, he probably would have benefited somewhat of it too, some from it. I mean, yes, there was a risk of getting injured like a practice or warm up or like a walkthrough or playing the game itself. But at the same time, in the Senior Bowl, he really profits massively from it because, yes, it will help his draft stock a bit since, again, he's doing workouts and practices and playing the Senior Bowl in front of a lot of NFL coaches and scouts. But at the same time, the risk of injury is still there. He could still get injured in the workouts, in the walkthroughs, in the practices, and the Senior Bowl itself. So again, when it could benefit the team, the bowl game, he sits out. But when he personally will benefit a lot from participating in the Senior Bowl, he will massively profit, and he decides to opt into it. So I think that's going to rub a lot of fans and members of Bronco Nation, including the football program, the wrong way. It definitely will, I believe. Leave a bad taste of like send them out. Definitely will. I mean, I myself feel a bit of that too. But at the same time too, for the Senior Bowl, I think a lot of players are allowed to wear, the helmet of their school. So this is what I want from y'all, comment. Either on the tweet that this will be. I mean, my Twitter is at Wilder Nathaniel, I believe. Just reloading Twitter right now. I mean, I'll post the video link on my Twitter page. Yeah, at Wilder Nathaniel. And I'll also be posting link to my Facebook page as well, which is Nathaniel Wilder. So you can either make comments to this video there or like on the Spotify, because I'll also upload this to Spotify as well as this YouTube channel as well. So Yeah, really want to make this a conversational piece. I want y'all to comment either on the YouTube, on Spotify, or directly to me on Wilder Nathaniel on Twitter or Nathaniel Wilder on Facebook on the link post about what do you think about that, and also as we're saying about the lids, if you're a Spencer Danielson, would you allow Kage Casey to wear the Bronco logo after essentially he, depending your viewpoint of view on it, sullied it a bit? Because it is an honor to wear a Bronco logo. It should be considered a great honor to wear it. And yes, he has been with the team for 4 years, competed hard in his time as a Bronco, and again was a great captain in the regular season, and last year, the year before that, and the year before that, and he was a great example of what it meant to be a Bronco on and off the gridiron. And he showed loyalty going into this year because he could have gone in the portal, gotten an NIL deal at a power conference team for millions of dollars. As I mentioned, he is an elite left tackle and definitely would have fetched millions of dollars as a left tackle at like a school like Bama or Oregon or USC or one of those kind of big money schools. Especially with the accolades he has, and again being among like probably the top 100 left tackles in the NCAA this year. Definitely could have fetched that, but decided to come back to Boise State for his senior year. Had a great regular season, and got named captain. But again, as we know, again, depending on how you want to look at it, about him quitting on the team for the bowl game, decided to opt out and sit out of the LA Bowl. And yet, when the Senior Bowl comes around, he decides to jump at that, which is a little interesting, again, about how he valued more of a bowl game where he will personally profit the most instead of the Senior Bowl, instead of where the team would really profit or would benefit the most from him partaking and participating in, which was the LA Bowl. So again, if you're Spencer Danielson, would you allow Kage Casey in the Senior Bowl to wear a Boise State helmet, or tell him nope, can't wear anything Boise State because you quit on the team, you gave up on the team for the bowl game, which was a massive opportunity for this program. You gave up on it, you quit on it, you by opting out, sitting out, you no longer lived up to the expectations, what it meant to be a Boise State Bronco at that moment, and to allow him to wear any Boise State decals, or tell him, nope, go buy your own damn helmet from like Big 5 Sporting Goods, Dick's Sporting Goods, or any other sporting goods store that has a football helmet that fits him, and wear that instead of a Boise State helmet. So yeah, so that's what this video mainly was and is about. And please, seriously, comment on the video either on YouTube, on this video on YouTube, Spotify, or following the link on my Facebook or Twitter pages about what your thoughts are about Kage Casey deciding to play in the Senior Bowl after sitting out, opting out of the LA Bowl, and whether you'd allow him to, if you're Spencer Danielson or the program, to permit him the honor of wearing a Boise State helmet in the Senior Bowl, or tell him, nope, buy your own damn helmet and can't wear anything Boise State in the Senior Bowl, since you lost that right and that honor by quitting on the team and the bowl game by deciding to sit out and opt out of it. So a shorter video. Again, I want this to be more of an internet conversational piece about, again, your thoughts, your own perspectives, your own thoughts about, as I mentioned, Kage Casey going from sitting out, playing the LA Bowl when he could have really helped Boise State out a lot in that game in terms of playing in the game and being a solid link in the O-line, and then coming out and accepting an invitation to play in the Senior Bowl, where he personally profits a lot more so than the LA Bowl. And again, if you would allow him to wear any Boise State decals or Boise State helmet, or tell him to go to a nearby sporting goods store and get his own helmet and wear that for the Senior Bowl instead. So, yep. With all that said, Go Broncos!